Your stream saved somewhere? Yes, sir. You have actually a second YouTube channel, which you can find under the name BFME World, and every Twitch live stream will be uploaded eventually into the second YouTube channel, but that's gonna take some time, you know? Like, I don't know, like the stream from today, for example, will be uploaded like 2 weeks later. So we have the blue Man of the West player, Maru, at the bottom side, against the pink Elven player, Fairy, at the top side. So it's a clash between good and good factions, Legolas facing against his own friend, best friend, Aragorn. Farm, barracks into the second farm. Even though that's a huge map, right? That's one of the biggest, if not the biggest map itself in the map pool for the spring tournament. Maru still chooses to go for a very early barracks. I personally, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's necessary because, you know, there is the gap is huge. So basically the travel distance from this location to this location gives you the chance to start even with potentially 4 farms before you need to build the barracks. Bets for the next game? Yeah, you can also open the bets for this game if you want to. Thank you so much, dude. Eisengasm, appreciate it. Obtain Humanity is in the chat, the sponsor of this tournament, boys. Obtain Humanity, I didn't see you for a long time. We are, by the way, with the quarterfinals now of the winner bracket. I don't know if you actually take a look or took a look into the bracket yet in the you know, challenge website. So the first finalist of the winner bracket is already set. That is going to be Sauron, and the second finalist is going to be set after this series, as the winner of this series is going to face against Mr. Smog in the semifinals number 2. Russia, it's Russia. Kwanish, welcome, my friend. Glad to see you in the chat. Bets are open for the 2 minutes, boys. So for this game, for the game number 1 between Men of the West and Elves, you can now gamble the hell out of your channel points. Creeping action is going on. Fairy is going for the first push. So Fairy wasn't even creeping. Oh, he was creeping. I'm blind. He was creeping this one. So Pikemen and Lorien Warriors. Remember, Rallying Call is available for both the players. So the question is, can Fairy defend this without losing too much? Pro Slice, you know, like his name, he's a professional channel point gambler. Lost like 20,000 points. Dude, that hurts. Oh, the farm has been taken down. So the question is, will Maru use his War Chant or Rallying Call in this case either defensively or offensively? Stable is building up now for the Rivendell Lancer Battalion. In the meantime, Man is struggling, so defending as soldier against buffed Lorien Warriors and also Miflons is quite challenging. He's trying to build a wall up to try to kind of block the enemy pathing, but I don't think that's gonna matter too much. And I'm assuming also this farm is going to be taken down, and with that, Fairy actually gets a great first push off in a really big map. And Maru is actually out of position, so he's not doing what he's intended to do, and you know, attacking the fortress is pointless because you cannot take it down early on. Should be trying to take down some Malone trees instead, but it's, you know, too late for that. You always lose when gambling, but at least in this situation you don't lose real money, which is going to hurt you a lot. I know now you will say, but Shanks, your channel points are worth more than real money. Appreciate it. Okay, the Lorien Warriors, they're actually still alive, and the good thing about this situation for Fairy is that Lorien Warriors are faster than Gondor soldiers. That means they can always disengage, and as they're level 2, they can even respawn and recover over time, which is a big plus for the army of Fairy. And also the farm in the middle is going to be taken down. Very smart move from Fairy, actually. The pathing is very important. He was pathing from this side, so he knows there is nothing from Maru. So he's actually using the Lancer to move from the other side of the map, the right side of the middle, and he will be able to find not 1 but 2 farms, and both of them are going to be taken down. It's actually a huge start. And Fairy, I'm telling you guys, everybody is talking about Smoky, about Avehave, about Mr. Smog, but everybody is underestimating my man Fairy. He is definitely on point. Hey, Killstealer 3 for the Primus for 6 months, my dude. Thank you so much. Welcome back.
Killstealer3 just resubscribed for 6 months. Ahoy. Cheers Shanks and chat beyond BFME he.
Thank you so much for the huge spot. Why did you stop facecam, Shanks? Because, you know, my wife got jealous, you know what I'm saying? I opened my webcam and then I all of a sudden get many messages from Tinder. I don't even have Tinder. Instagram, Twitter, all the girls and stuff. They're like, hey Shanks, can you please hit me like a truck, Shanks? I trust you on that one, Shanks. I believe that you can show your quality, Shanks. Do this to me. And my wife was super jealous and she said to me, hey, listen to me. If you want to stream ever again, you need to promise me that you'd not. Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie, but I don't feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so big trample is incoming. Where was Gondor when the Westwall fell? In Minas Tirith. Okay, that's a huge Elven army though. All you gotta do is kill the one pikeman unit. That's it. That's it.
They'll crush us.
They will crush us. Yeah, indeed, they will crush you. Beautiful trample is incoming. Nice micro from Fairy, just on point. The pikes are getting crushed and focused on from the Lothian archers in the meantime. And he needs to play the patient game. Oh, he's actually taking one more beautiful trample. And all the army from men is going to be crushed. And that's what I'm talking about. Also in the Champions League, which was an event we hosted for this game just before the spring tournament started, men seem to struggle quite a lot against good factions. Like dwarves and elves, they have like a really negative win rate, especially in the Champions League. While men was actually performing kind of good against evil factions like goblins, Isengard and Ingmar, you know, and also Mordor. But that's a great counter push. Taking down the barracks is a great achievement, but it's not going to be as huge as Maru is intending it to be. It's because Fairy has already the second barracks up on the field, and that's only a level 1 barracks. And now you are losing all your units and even your rallying call for that. I don't think it's worth it. It's worth it definitely if you can take down the level 2 farm right after this one. We have at the beginning of the game, after a couple of minutes, Maru sitting on 510 command points in total. He has 7 power points collected after rallying call. And we have 575 command points for Fairy, but losing this means minus 75. So he's gonna drop down lower than his opponent. 9 power points collected after the rallying call. And you know, basically, if you know, as elves, you need to ask yourself, what are you trying to go for? So I'm assuming in this matchup, Elven Wood can also be great because that's gonna give you the same stats like the rallying call, also fear resistant, which can eventually shut down Boromir later on, and also that will lead you later on to the End Ally special summon, which can be used for sieging purposes. As you guys know, the siege power of the Elven faction is not the greatest. And if you say no, I want to actually go for the Eagles, then you need to pick up the Mists. Both of them can be great choice in this matchup.
We will wait for them there. Don't draw attention.
Shanks, hit me like a truck, please. Hey Farad, my man is in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you around. Hey Shanks, maybe a dumb question, but would you ever use some tactics for campaign for playing someone online? The map control or getting outpost? Sorry. Oh, what the heck? My phone is ringing. Sorry. For campaign, you mean like for multiplayer matches? Like you mean like guide videos for playing skirmishes or multiplayer?
I need us over here. This way, Lancers. Cleanse these lands.
Oh, but the Lancers from Fairy are actually putting in so much work. Smoky is here, trying to scout for his upcoming opponent, who is gonna be the winner of this one. And if Smoky wins, he's gonna move on to the finals against Sauron. And this is going to be epic, guys. So I hope you won't miss this one. Trust me, you will regret it. Oh, Lone Tower placement. Dude, I'm not sure about that. Oh, the builder. What is the builder doing? He's like, yabba dabba out. Okay, he's paying attention. That's good. Oh, the question is how impactful this tower can actually be. Like the placement, I'm not happy with the placement, to be honest with you guys. So when it comes to place a Lone Tower, I believe, oh, Elven Wood special summon. That's what I'm talking about. So Fairy is definitely aiming to get to the end special summon later on, which again will give him the chance to siege a little bit easier. But the pikemen, they are getting crushed, and that's a huge loss for Fairy. Now you gotta bail because you will feed those rangers even more and more and more. So that's a OG Man of the West strategy right there. You go for the Lone Tower, place your rangers inside, and they are hitting like an absolute truck. And keep in mind that the tower you summon has more HP than the tower you build. So this one, for example, has 2500 HP, and this one from Fairy has only 1500. So that's minus 1000 HP there, which is actually quite a lot. It's more than 50% tankier. Lol, I just thought your alarm was my phone. I got you. It's always the same for me. When I ever watch YouTube videos and then the phone is ringing, I'm always like, hey, it's my phone. Creeping. So actually Maru is kind of doing good. Now he has Golden Knights up on the field. Archer range level 2 obviously. Barracks level 1. Fairy is kind of focusing too much on the cavalry and not focusing on the strength of the Elven army, which are the Mirkwoods. So you need to get Mirkwoods on the field if you want to be able to win those fights in a long run, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, lances are good for harassment, especially on a map like this. They are the key, but you need to eventually go for the transition. And also, not to mention, not a single player went for any hero yet. So we have not seen Haldir, we have not seen Elma, we have not seen Theoden, Boromir, nothing like this. The Malon has 0 protection, will be taken down, and you can see Maru has definitely more map control. So when we take a look into the current command points and power points, we can also see that Maru is up to 735 now. 7 power points collected, 5 of them will be invested into the rebuild. He's being prepared to repair this. That will buy him some more time. I think it's going to be still taken down. So I don't know if this is worth it to repair it. I don't think it is. Maybe. Will he repair it? He chooses to... Oh, he repairs it at the very last second. I mean, I don't know. He will still be able to kill some units, but again, it will be still taken down. Or, dude, this thing is actually tanky, my man. What the heck is... Dude! Don't tell me. Don't tell me he will feel it. He will feel it. Actually, big brain alert there from Maru. The rebuild saved not only the tower, but also the tower killed every single pikeman. Every single... He killed like 4 battalions of this pikeman. Are you kidding me? I want to actually know the levels of these ranges inside. They have to be like level 25. The Gondor Knights, though they are not in position, they will be taken down. You can see Fairy is kind of present. Like he's present. He's dropping down to 535 command points only. He has 5 power points collected after the Elven Wood. He's still, you know, a little bit closer than 10 power points from the Eagle special summon. Not Eagle, sorry, the Ents, I mean. Maybe that's needed to take down this tower. So basically Fairy has to now rush. Like he has to make sure to destroy this before the thing is rebuilding itself. You know, 560 command points available. And 885. Six power points in the bank. Actually, if you don't know, the Elven Wood is also able to recharge faster in compared to the Tainted Land from Goblins and Mordor. 660 command points now for men, for elves, and 935 for men. But oh, we have a hero now finally. Ilma, the Horse Lord of Rohan, is making his appearance in this game number 1. The Gollum is looking around the Haradrim Palace, you know, scouting for Mordor, seeing what the... Now, scouting for the Dark Lord to see what the elves and men are up to. Ralinkol has been used on this army, and I think you lack of heroes at this point. Oh, what is going... Oh, nice punishment on these rangers with the bar. Hey, if you can take down this level 2 farm, remember rebuild is on cooldown. There comes Theoden, the King of Rohan, to support the infantry with additional leadership. The farm level 2 is going down, and Maru is dropping 75 command points from that. I mean, he's still at 935, but making mistakes like this over and over again might change this fact in a few seconds. He will have a fight. Elves are pressuring. That will also give Fairy the chance to keep expanding. The, you know, man army has buff here, leadership here, and he can also buff them with Ralinkol for a double buff action. Theoden is a very strong hero, as a sportive hero, and if you can place him right in the middle of the rangers, you can share experience and eventually get him to level 6. For Death and Glory, the Glorious Charge, you can use that in combination with the Rohan Ally Summon, or also on your own Gondor Knights, or in this case Rohirrim, as the stable is level 2. Man is able to defend himself quite easily. Those ranges are hitting like a truck, and Fairy actually still didn't go for the transition into a barracks level 2, so he sticks to the tier 1 units. Lorien Warriors, Pikemen, and Lorien Archers, and he will get outskilled if he keeps doing that, because the man has found the transition. He was going for the stronger cavalry and the stronger archers, so he will outdamage you and he will outsustain you, because he has leadership on a mobile hero and you don't, right? The only way else can get leadership is actually getting Haldir to level 5 and or Elrond. But Elrond is expensive, so Haldir is more realistic. Okay, so Lone Tower is going to be available. This one is, by the way, still remaining on the field, and it looks like after trying to take it down twice, Fairy is giving up on it. You know what I'm saying? And Maru is on point. This guy was training and playing for 9 hours a day before the tournament started. He's scary. Theoden is level 2. Level 4 is actually also a nice power spike that will level up those units to level 2. The Rangers will get a huge power spike of that. Right, they will be able to use their long shot. Super Banjo for the resub for 2 mans per man. Super Banjo! Thank you very much for the support. Thank you, thank you.
Super_Banjo just resubscribed for 2 months. Ahoy.
No, I didn't lose your saves, Goku. I was actually trying them out. And I failed a couple of times, not gonna lie. On the Shield of Slayer. I failed like, I tried like twice and then I was bugging it out also, the mission. The farm in the middle is going to be taken down. This farm is going to be taken down. And would you look at that? Man is dropping down more and more command points. But he has 17 power points. However, the elves are getting close to 15. And this is way more threatening than the 15 from the men. Because if he gets the chance to go for a sneaky little end special summon behind, I mean, here this would be a perfect place. Because here you have so many options. You can harass the fortress. You can take down the archer range level 2 or even the farm level almost 3. So the end summon can actually be extremely efficient, and we will see about that. You can see elves are not only holding, they are actually putting pressure. Guys, it's worked. My schlong is very long now. Dude, then you are one of a kind because it normally takes some time. Okay, Alvin Wood and ends the siege has begun, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, you are playing against man. Man has access to the rebuild. It means he can delay that, and the Rohirrim are trying to get inside the genes and take down those ends. So Tom Bombadil will be special summoned from the man of the best player Maru. Maru is trying to defend himself, and he's holding his rebuild. He should be fine. He should be fine. Now Fairy should be disengaging, knowing that man has rebuild. He already saw it once. He knows that. So committing here and losing all your lances is not a good thing. The only good thing about the situation for Fairy is, yes, he was able to damage it, but he was also baiting or, you know, kind of forcing Maru to invest 10 of his power points to summon Tom Bombadillo. So now he's up to 14 and he needs to still pick up 15, while what Fairy doesn't have to do. So Fairy has nearly 5 power points collected. He's 20 power points away from his 25.
I come on behalf of ready from Midland.
It is Fiesta time, isn't it? It is Fiesta time, my man. It is Fiesta time. Okay, the Rohirrim though, of the Riddermark with leadership. And that means the Rivendell Lancers have no chance. Builder has to run for his life. Theoden King is level 4, 2 levels away from the death and glory. And look at the minimap though. I mean, Maru is spreading out. Like, he has stuff everywhere. And I cannot believe it that this Warclay is still remaining on the field. As well as the first special summoned Lone Tower, which was repaired once and it was killing so many units. The MVP of this game is definitely the Lone Tower and the Rangers inside of it. Oh, the Malone 3 level 2. Oh, that's gonna hurt Fairy a lot. Haldir is finally on the field. It might be a little bit too late because, as you can see, Maru has now fire arrows. It means higher DPS on these Rangers. Attack the building, and that's a huge push. Yeah, definitely not the meta playstyle from Fairy here. He was finally going for the transition into the barracks level 2, but way too late, right? I mean, we see ranges now from man for the past 10 minutes plus, while Fairy is just now making his final transition into the strongest archers of the game. He has also not Haldir, but Haldir also, but also Glorfindel up on the field. Level 2. Remember, they got, I mean, this guy got nerfed. He cannot use the Blade of Purity anymore when he is mounted, which actually kinda hits him like a truck when it comes to fight against cavalry. You get no cookie. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Thank you, thank you. So Theoden, 1 level away, boys, for the glorious charge. PowerPoint wise, he has 15 now. He was also going for the heal, just to make sure that he can keep the heroes protected and alive. And 1000 command points. Grand Harvest? Yes, sir. You can see those farms glowing, shining bright like a diamond. It means he's getting 32 from this one, for example. And with this many command points, he will grow rich. Right? He can go for the blacksmith, get heavy armor purchase on this Rohirrim, get eventually stronger heroes like Aragorn or Gandalf. Like, he can do whatever he wants at this point, because his money should be unmatched. Remember, the Elven faction has the worst eco in the entire game. So the elves, with this map control, can never keep up with the money income from the Man of the West player. I mean, this Lone Tower though. Holy moly. Okay, they're recovering over time. Maybe Knights of Dolamrov could be a nice investment. So he has now the elite, right? He has elite tower guards, elite archers, and also elite horses. 16, 10. So Fairy is still 15 away from his 25, which can be flat. Flat can be good in the situation, especially in this area. Look at this. Like, you can use flats and take down the archer range, the barracks, and the farm level 3 in one shot. But the thing is, sometimes you can actually kind of time it good, that you can eventually repair it while it's damaging. So it's not getting one shot. It is like a damage over time effect. So it actually damages, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're able to heal it right before it gets destroyed. Then you should, you know, maybe you can manage to save it somehow. That's the welcome, my friends. Why are you crying? What is happening? So thankfully you're streaming. I really enjoy your streams, and I just thank you so much, dude. That would below appreciated. And also glad to see you in the chat. Also Toby 99, thanks for the follow, appreciate it as well. Okay, so we have actually, they are looking the same, dude. Look at this. When you look from behind, they look very similar to each other. Haldir and Glorfindel, you know what I'm saying? They have the same cloak, almost the same hairs. They look very similar. Oh, he has the one rank, but oh my goodness, guys, can he actually do it? Nah, I don't think so. He has almost 4k. Imagine him being able to recruit Galadriel, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Oh, nice Pietro on your face, son. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, also Theoden is getting closer and closer for level 6 glorious charge. Oh man, look at this minimap. Melvin Malris, thanks for the first time subbing with the primers. Welcome to the Beyond Standards crew, my man. Thank you for a huge spot.
Melvin Melris just subscribed. Welcome to Beyond Standards crew.
Thank you so much. Someone told me about the Prime Gaming. Hey man, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate this support. Really means a lot. Oh my goodness. Look at this man army, dude. What can elves do against such a reckless hate? Barracks level 2 is going to be taken down. Glorfindel, I mean not Glorfindel, but Theoden is really close to be level 6. I don't even see him on the field anymore. Glorfindel is popping though. I mean, this guy should not be underestimated. The Barracks level 2 is gone, and hey, death and glory! Shine bright like a diamond. Go, King of Rohan, ride it. For death and glory, no. For Rohan, for your people. And look at this, dude. No force can stop this charge. That's the description of this glorious charge. This white glowing effect is actually, I like this also in BFME 1 the most. This has to be the best ability in the game when it comes to boost the strength and the power of your units, in this case for the cavalry only, which kind of makes perfect sense for the Man of the West army, just like to make it in the films. The Return of the King in Lord of the Rings, the fortress is under attack, and unlike Man of the West faction, elves have no rebuild ability. Elven Wood will not matter. Yes, the one rank, he has 5,000 in the bank, but he still needs 5,000 more to recruit Galadriel, and Maru, the Russian player, is going to be able to get the first W, but remember, it's a best of 5. And from what I've seen, this might be a long series. I don't think they will be able to finish this in about 30 minutes. GG well played, and we're gonna jump right into the game number 2. We have the blue dwarven player Maru at the top side against the pink Mordor player Fairy at the bottom side. When I finally get inside the jeans, I don't want to hear that. Imagine that, how up imagine that. This would literally, guys, this would literally be the worst thing but a guy can hear. But you know what would be the worst thing but a girl can hear? When she asks you that, when she's like, are you in yet? And you say, I don't know. That can also be really, really bad, you know, for her. All right, 2 slaughterhouses, Orc pit, and then 3rd slaughterhouse right after. We see 2 mineshafts into the Hall of Warriors coming up. It's the build order, and the builder is now building like a work layer close. I mean, a mineshaft close to the work layer. Don't worry, you are gonna hit like a truck, trust me, no one, of course, my friend. Hey, Viper, glad to see you in the chat. Okay, so what we're gonna have at the beginning? Pikeman opening, and it looks like Maru is planning to either creep this one first or the troll there first. And Hakan of Rivia, also known as Keith Bats, for 10 months with the primaries. Hakan, thank you so much, appreciate the support, my man.
Hakan of Rivia just resubscribed for 10 months. Ahoy.
Ahoy. Orc pit, orc pit, orc pit. So the classical orc spam is back on the menu, boys. You know, getting this to level 2 actually pretty, you know, think about it. You invest 200, right? And then you get 10% speed, and on top of that you get 100% HP boost. So Orc Pit from level 1 to level 2 jumps from 1500 HP to 3000 HP, and on top of that you also will get the chance to recruit the Black Orcs. You know what I'm saying? So creeping action is going on. I think the Orcs, they won't be in time. Maybe they can steal the money. No, I don't think so. Or can they? They are faster than those pikes, but Maru is saying no, 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 you don't touch my treasures. I'm a dwarven player, I'm greedy. And also perfect placement. You see, the placement is very important. He's using those rocks on the ground perfectly to deny orcs to attack from this area, right? That's important. The build style, you know, where you build stuff. For example, you can do that also on this spot here. They are not only for design here, you can also use them. Okay, the orcs are spreading out. You know, it's an army of orcs, and the plan from Maru has to be to sneak in as quickly as he can, like a mineshaft close to Mordor. But Mordor is moving from every single location, which will make it kind of hard for dwarves to accomplish that. I want to give it to Kaiser. Okay, my friend, I got you. I need to do it manually, so I will do it after the game. Coconut. And Kaiser, in advance, congrats on your gifted sub, my friend. That's what my girlfriend calls me. Hey. The mineshaft is going down slowly but surely. That's the problem with the dwarves, you know, they cannot really protect it. I want to give it to zero high. Dude, you guys gonna make me poor. What the heck is going on now? I think I'm gonna raise the price of the gifted sub. 2 gifted subs in the channel. What am I? Do I look like Bill Gates to you guys? Bill Gates, you know? Okay, he's checking this area just in case he might go free creep, but that's not the case. We get more and more orcs in the meantime. Remember, he has in total 3 orc pits, and now making the transition into the Haradrim Palace. So I'm assuming it's gonna be Haradrim Lances first, which will be forcing the dwarven player Maru to recruit more and more pikemen. Because as we are talking, he has almost no pikemen, he has only guardians. And we also don't see any mineshafts close to the Mordor fortress yet. So Fairy is able to keep the dwarves away from his fortress pretty nicely. Orcs, they have no chance against guardians in a one-on-one situation. The mineshaft here is going to be taken down, but also here very good placement, as you can see, with the rocks on the ground from Maru. But it's going to buy you some more time. However, the guardians, you know, they need to be repositioned when you want to defend this properly, because look, they are bugging out, you know, they don't know what they are supposed to do. Orcs level 2, they unlock the Bloodthirsty, which means 25% more damage, makes them definitely way stronger. Okay, the pikes, they are running it down, and there is 0 mineshaft close to the Mordor base. Can you imagine how bad this is in the situation? And literally, Mordor is overrunning dwarves. The orc spam, I'm telling you, is super underrated, because the orcs, they are the best when it comes to spam units. They cost only 30 command points. They cost less command points than any other unit in the game. Maybe lumberman workers cost less, but any other fighting unit costs more. Goblins cost 40, for example, and they're also the cheapest units in the game, which means when your resource income is low, when your command points are low, you can still spam a lot of them non-stop from the beginning until the very end and be annoying, you know? Battle wagons might be a great answer to this, but there is so much pressure on dwarves, and he has not managed yet one single time to get to the side from Fairy, which is not a good thing. Okay, mineshaft will be oil barrel on the ground, but you gotta be careful with the battle wagon. If the battle wagon gets literally touched one time from this Easterling battalion, it's going down in the darkness, you know what I'm saying? So banner for the leadership. Remember, Mordor has no easy time to nullify enemy leadership bonuses until you get Witch King or Mouth of Sauron. These heroes can do that, but only these heroes. Isengard has Creepine, Goblins have Keep Pads, but Mordor has none of them. But Mordor has access to double buff from his spellbook only, which cost him 5 power points for Eye and 5 power points for the War Chant. Builder will be unfortunately for Maru taken down by the Orcs, and the pressure, I'm telling you guys, look at this pressure, do you see that? Maybe extra overstat would be a great choice, but even then, I think you would be out-spammed. Like, he's literally being out-spammed out of the map. It feels like he can do nothing about the situation. 600 command points versus 400. Mordor has also not picked anything yet. He's playing without the buff. He doesn't pick Eye, he doesn't pick War Chant, he doesn't pick Tainted Land. He just spams Orcs all day long. That's all he has to do. Also, this Mineshaft level 2 will be taken down. Maybe he can go for rebuild, but it looks like he want to save up for the 10, and he will be giving up this one, which means minus 75. He's dropping down to 350 command points. And again, he was not even able to cross over the river yet. You know, basically, that was the area from dwarves all game long. He couldn't get through this border. It's like a wall here, and he cannot enter Mordor, you know? Eye plus Tainted Land for double buff. The Battle Wagon can trample. Charge is incoming from the Guardians. They have also double buff now when the Battle Wagon is nearby. And Mordor is holding. That's okay. So if you trade 2 for 1, 3 for 1, it's still worth it for Mordor. You know what I'm saying? Because the speed you have from 3 Orc pits cannot be matched from one single Hall of Warriors. That's not possible. $11 power points collected. You might go for the Hobbit special summon. Beautiful trample is incoming, but you don't want to overcommit with the trample. That's gonna slow you down and you won't be able to move. It will give the Orcs the chance to burst you down. And remember, there is also one Easterling battalion, so definitely gotta watch out. And dwarves, they are losing the fights too. You know, it's not like they are holding themselves without losing too much. They are always losing the fights. They are losing units. And Maru has to reinvest all the money into making more units, replacing the units he just lost. So the Mineshaft in the middle, that's an army worthy of Mordor, ladies and gentlemen. 12 power points collected after the Rolling Call, 400 command points in the bank versus 975 command points for Fairy. That's a huge gap, by the way, and more than 100% more money income in command points. And Maru doesn't say a word, and that's gonna make the score even. I'm telling you, boys, we got ourselves a series. We're gonna jump right into the first tiebreaker. We have the pink Mordor player Fairy at the top side against the blue Mordor player Maru at the bottom side. And guys, listen to me. Now I know what you're thinking. Now you are saying, oh, but it's a mirror match. Oh, no. But listen to me. Mordor mirrors are actually not bad. Listen, because Mordor has many options, right? Mordor can go for the cave, for the mountain trolls. You can go for orc spam. You can go for early Haradrim lancers. You can go for Haradrim archers later on. You can go for a Felbeast. You can go for a Mumma kill. You can go for the black orcs. You can go for the attack trolls to steal the enemy trolls. Like, you have so many options, and it's not boring. It's not an Alvin mirror match, so trust me on that one. Wait, just wait. Okay, so hi much Lancer, my man, thank you so much for tuning in. Glad to see you in the chat. 3 slaughterhouses, Orc pit into the second Orc pit. On the other side, we see the same situation also for Fairy. So never change your running system. He was also doing that in the previous game. Why no one using Eye of Sauron to scout? Because I believe if you use Eye of Sauron now, maybe at the beginning of the game you can do that. It was a meta thing in the version 8.4, because in the 8.4 version of this game, everybody legit was going for Eye of Sauron to reach the industry power spike a bit sooner. However, they nerfed industry, and also buffs like War Chant and Rallying Call are just too good, you know? I cannot match that. Like, you lose damage and also armor if you pick Eye versus War Chant. So if you want to go for like a early skirmish or early pressure, I think War Chant is just too good to not pick it up. Falcon, also welcome to the stream. And remember, I mean, scouting, I don't know if this is a good thing, because in Rise of the Witch King you also have this unrevealed random, so that means even if you pick random, your opponent does know what you are up to. I mean, what faction you are playing at least. So scouting and using abilities like Vision of Palantir or Farsight or Eye of Sauron isn't that important in this game. The Orcs are being sent forward. They shouldn't be able to deal too much damage. They are being used mainly for scouting purposes. Remember, the orc pits are kind of squishy buildings, and imagine one orc dealing that much damage already to the first orc pit from Fairy. So 2 orc pits for both the players, but we will definitely see a transition very soon. I'm assuming the best transition would be actually not the Haradrim lenses, but eventually the mountain trolls. I believe Mordor will struggle to deal with the mountain trolls early on. The orc archers are not the greatest units in the game when it comes to burst down those trolls. So mountain trolls early on can be great in this matchup. But looks like Maru is like, no, I'm going for what I know is good, and that's gonna be Haradrim Palace upgrade to level 2. So I can get my Haradrim lenses recruited. And Fairy is doing what I was thinking is the better choice, and we shall see. The mountain troll. I mean, the thing is, mountain troll is just much stronger, right? Much stronger than Haradrim Lancer. Haradrim Lancer is faster, yes, but weaker, much weaker. And what can orc archers do against such a reckless seed? They can run for their lives. That's what, guys. Do you guys know that? Can you also eat one of your opponent? Seeds? Orcs? Is it possible? I don't know. I've never seen anybody doing that. I'm curious if you can do it. I mean, I think in BFME 1 it's also possible. You can eat one of your opponent orcs. If you play Mordor Mirror and you have your mountain trolls, you can eat them. You know, just why you kill them and you can eat them for regenerating. Okay, the slaughterhouse is gonna be taken down. It's gonna be the first slaughterhouse which will be destroyed. I will be used just before it's going down from Maru, and Fairy went for the Warchan. You see, the Warchan and orcs are just much stronger. In Rise of the Lich King we can too. Okay, that's nice. That makes even the trolls better in this matchup, to be honest with you. Like, you don't need to be worried. There are always gonna be some orcs in this matchup, and you can always eat one of them. And Maru is under pressure, but he was creeping, at least that's good. The troll there. And the troll doesn't... I mean, he has to be careful against Easterlings. But there is no world Easterling can actually catch him. So unless you make a big mistake, you should be always able to get away. Lots of pressure. And more mountain trolls. I think Drummer Troll can also be nice, because Mordor is struggling to get fear resistant. You need Gothmog for that one. To get level 5 for the Iron Hand. Until this, you have no fear resistant. And look at this. He's eating one of the... Nah, he's eating one of his on orcs. Oh, Haradrim Palace. If he can take it down, it's gonna be actually huge. But it looks like... Oh, is he gonna go for it though? Yes, sir. No, he's going for the slaughterhouse. Take this. Oh, but he's in the fortress range, and now he's prisoned here. I don't know about that. But is it worth it? I think it's worth it. It was all about to hit level 2. Maybe he can even save him. Hey, dude, this... I'm telling you, boys, mountain trolls are the way to go. I will tell you that much. They are so good. Turn and punch them at least. The thing is, when you know you cannot save him, I think the best thing what you can do is try to deal as much damage before you go down. Oh, orcs are swarming out, boys. The squad. More mountain trolls are being recruited. The thing is that they are not even much more expensive than the Haradrim lenses. They cost 500 each, and they have more sustain than Haradrim lenses do. After the first couple of minutes, we can see Fairy is up to 500 command points in total. He has collected nearly 5 power points after the Warchan start from the spellbook. And Maru has 5 power points too, and he's up to 550. So the game in the command points and power points department is looking identical, but Maru can skip Warchant and take the land and go for the industry, which Fairy can't. Fairy has to pick first of Sauron, which is kind of nonsense, because he has no... I mean, trolls cannot be buffed. Trolls cannot become stronger in this game, unlike in BFME 1. But look at this, Maru is everywhere. He has also those Haradrim spearmen from the inn. Are they actually good against trolls too? They are so weird units. Look what they are doing. What are they doing actually? What are they doing? You don't know what they are doing. Hey Kingato, welcome my man. Glad to see you in the chat. Can I play versus loser? I can ask them. Maybe one of them is up to play like a best of 5 twice a day. Maybe we can ask. We can figure out. More orcs. Orcs everywhere, all day, all night. And the thing is that he needs more Easterlings now to deal with the Haradrim lenses, because Haradrim lenses are actually doing a good job shutting down the orc production from Fairy, as the orcs are getting trampled over and over again, which gives Maru the chance to outspam his opponent. The trolls, they gotta do some more work. And what you can do with the trolls is actually group them with like 2-3 trolls at the same time, and then you can burst down everything in a few seconds. So when you get 3 trolls on the spot here, you can take down the Haradrim Palace in literally 10 seconds, right? So it's worth it to get more than one of them at the same time, going the same way, to just kill everything a bit faster. And I'm assuming like with 4 trolls, maybe 5 trolls, you can even take down the fortress. Lots of pressure. There is going to be also a troll cage for Maru. No heroes all game long. The game breaking point will be a Fell Beast. So if any of the Mordor players can actually get to the point in which they can summon a Fell Beast, that will be definitely a GG situation. 10 power points collected for Maru. He might go now for the industry. The problem is, can he keep the... Oh, the troll is running it down. Never mind. Can he keep the industry buff slaughterhouse protected? That's the golden question. He's going to use it. The Eye of Sauron. Here. There are actually 2 eyes. Look at this. The eyes of Sauron. Trolls are pressuring. Orcs are body blocking quite nicely, as you can see and tell, right? So Maru is body blocking himself with the Orcs. So the Easterlings cannot reach out to this troll. And troll is just able to take down this slaughterhouse for free. This is an important one. If you can keep this one protected, it's going to be good for Fairy. If Maru can take it down, it's going to be huge for Maru. 13 power points and Maru doesn't pick anything yet. I mean, industry is good because I believe after industry you can actually go for the worm special summon, which can be quite nasty. You can legit take down, like, look at this area. 1 worm here, you can destroy both the Orc Pits and the slaughterhouse. Almost level 3. And Fairy also is like 2 power points away from his own industry. I think also barricade can be actually quite useful, but industry is just too good. So industry has been used on this one behind. The thing is, Maru now has to make sure that he has protection for this one, because losing this after using industry is just too painful. You will lose 10 power points. Fairy is kind of pushing back a little bit. 650 for Fairy and 700 for Maru, so it's pretty even in the command points and power points department. Nothing game changing happened as we are talking. Maru is gonna grow richer because of this. How much money does he actually get? Let me take a look into that. Oh, 46 only. What? Only 46? I mean, I think you get 25 anyway. So it's not even 100% boost anymore. Weird. Maybe he was not getting 25. Maybe because they are just too close to each other. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the troll from Maru is... What is he focusing on, this Fairy? Now finally, focus down this guy. He was killing Orcs legit here. But look at this, you see? The damage from Orc archers is so bad. It's so bad. You need literally like 20 seconds to kill this guy. Okay, he's gonna finally go down. 4 power points collected for Fairy too. He was also using industry. Oh, but there comes a sneaky little mountain troll from Maru. And he's like, this slaughterhouse is mine. And that's gonna drop down Fairy to 625 command points. But this is the most important one. This is the most valuable one. This is the one he has to protect, no matter what. Yeah, level 1 too, right? True. Hey Max, welcome. 6 power points collected, boys. Oh, trolls are punching each other, but this one is gonna be stronger, of course. And he was not even able to destroy the slaughterhouse. But it's fine though, he was able to destroy one of the level 2. Now that's the question. Fairy is rocking this one, you know, he's rocking and rolling. And the DPS is nuts, dude. I'm telling you, trolls are so underrated. Especially the mountain trolls from Mordor faction. The harassment, the mobility, the speed, the damage is just too good. And the slaughterhouse is gone. 8 power points collected, and Maru is falling apart. He was actually looking much stronger like 2 minutes ago, but now he seems to struggle in organization of his army, you know? He seems to struggle to defend and put pressure at the same time. He's doing one of this at the same time, but he cannot do both. So he's struggling when it comes to defend while attacking, you know? He's only defending or only attacking, if this makes sense for you guys. But as he's attacking, he's becoming more and more vulnerable to his own army. So he keeps losing more and more stuff. Oh my goodness, man. Army worthy of Mordor, boys. 800 command points against 550. So Maru is down more than what? 4 slaughterhouses, 5 slaughterhouses. You have even the horde bonus now. You can see them glowing, shining. And always microing also, you know, never right click, always surround to burst, you know, increase your burst damage. Warden is going to be used on this Orc archers defensively. Dude, imagine if Fairy would go for like a couple of lancers. Like legit, there are almost no Easterlings on the field from Maru. Troll Cage level 1, Troll Cage level 1. Maru, look, Fairy's money. Like this guy is going to go for a Fell Beast very soon. Like only 1000 away from a Fell Beast. No fear resistant for Maru. Nothing that can deal with the Fell Beast. Would be a GG situation. I mean, at this point, he's so rich that he can even skip the Nazgul and go for the Witch King. Like, he can do whatever he wants. He's too rich. Also, this one is going to be taken down. Look at this Haradrim Spear Throwers. They have like an attack rate of 0.002 seconds. They don't seem to attack, boys. What the heck? Did you see this? They don't know what they're supposed to do. They have 0 attack speed. The trolls are coming. 12 power points collected for Fairy and 11 for Maru. So Fairy can now choose to summon the worm with 15. Artman, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Look, this troll is moonwalking. This troll eats. Oh, he couldn't. He's starving to death. 850 command points now against 550. The slaughterhouse here is going to be taken down next. Also, this one is going to be taken down. There is just too much pressure on Maru. He was having a phenomenal game in the game number 1 as men against elves, but in the previous 2 games, including this one, he's struggling quite a lot. And yet, he didn't decide to dodge this. He was playing always until the very end. And both the dodges are still available for both the players, so they can still dodge if there is a matchup they don't want to play. The worm from Fairy. 2 hits, I think, right? Yeah, 2 hits to take down this building. And ladies and gentlemen, we have here a Camule, the Fell Beast of the Mordor faction. Destroy all Mordor forces. Evening Shanks finally come to chill on a stream before I caught you on YouTube or record. Same, and thank you so much, I appreciate it. And thanks for watching the YouTube videos too, really means a lot. When you are coming from the main YouTube channel, you can see there is a difference between this and between live streams and the main channel, because I want to actually separate the content a little bit. We have the blue Mordor player Maru at the top side versus the pink Ingmar player Fairy at the bottom side. So it's a clash of evils, and that's a very good matchup. I like this matchup a lot. I think it's a very balanced matchup. We will see. Ingmar feels extremely strong, also in the version 8.5. And they also got a couple of balance changes in this version. So basically, Ingmar has now Karsh as a hero who offers you fear resistant, right? That was not the case in the previous versions. So Ingmar was the only faction without fear resistant, but that's now changed, which also makes Karsh a bit more viable. And also, I believe Karsh cannot be a bad hero in this situation, right? Karsh can legit have the Chill Soul, which can also affect the Mordor Orcs. Maybe. And also Rogash can counter Mordor, so you can steal the enemy trolls. Hey, Gold Club, thanks for the post, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you. 2 mills coming up for Ingmar into the Hall of the Kingsmen. On the other side, we see 3 slaughterhouses, Orc pits into the second Orc pit. That's the build order from the Mordor player Maru, who has to win this game. Valorant Champions Tour. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. And guys, we officially have 7,000 followers on the Twitch channel now. Thank you guys so much. I mean, I would have never thought of getting such a high number of followers on Twitch by streaming BFME games exclusively. Thank you guys. I cannot thank you enough. Sapra, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you guys so much. Really means a lot to me. Orc pit into the Haradrim Paris. And by the way, nice job on evolving the game into a great content for tournaments. Keep your work, Shanks. Thank you, man, so much. Arvin, appreciate it. I mean, we are trying our best to actually keep it as active as we can. This tournament, though, I'm not a hero of this tournament. It's actually Obtain Humanity, who was the donator of this cash prize of $1,300. And normally, we don't have this much cash prize. You know what I'm saying? Normally, we are able to host tournaments for like $200, $300, $500 most of the time. But we are doing it frequently, you know? And we have like a major tournament almost every year. We had like some problems last year, but also this year is going to be back on the menu, the World Championship. We have small tournaments. I'm also planning to host like invitational tournaments in which we are basically inviting certain players, like 8 players. It's going to be focused on the most active people and also the most strongest people of the community. So basically, long story short, this channel is dedicated to those events. Okay, and also BFME 1 tournament very soon. Very soon. Once we are done with the spring tournament, it's going to be BFME 1 tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Black Rider should be able to win. Budama. Black Rider too good. The Orc Warriors are leading forward. Gundabad Orcs. So Gundabad Orcs are stronger in a one-on-one situation, definitely. PowerPoint wise, we have Warchant. It's on cooldown for Fairy, and I is also on cooldown for Maru. It is still active, but it's going to be gone very soon. So Mordor is in a more like a defensive formation here. Angmar has like a very strong transition possibility, right? Early game, like you can legit go for this combo, Hall of the Kingsman and Wolfdan at the beginning of the game, nearly at the very first 3 to 4 minutes of the game, which will give you such a huge power spike, which is kind of nuts for a very hard scaling faction. So Angmar is not only strong early game, as you know, kind of reliable orcs, you can spam a lot. You have one building to solve all your problems. Look at this Hall of the Kingsman. Look at this. What kind of situation, what kind of units you can recruit. All units you need in your entire game are inside one single structure, including a banner carry upgrade. While other factions like Men of the West and Elves and whatever, they gotta build an armory for that, blacksmith for that, you know. And that's a huge power spike also for the Black Numenorians and also Dark Rangers. This one is going to be taken down, 400 command points, but it's going to drop down to 350 now as this is going down. And Angmar is up to 400. And it's going to be a bit rough now for Mordor because he got to deal with those, not Haradrim, but the Wolf Riders. Yeah, I mean, I think you are kind of representing like 90% of the people who are not only watching the streams, but also the YouTube channel. I know it was also the same situation for me. I personally enjoyed to play certain games back in the day, and nowadays I still enjoy to watch them. I don't even play them kind of actively anymore. I got you. But I think it's always nice to have like a competition going on, which will give the chance to the people, to the players to go over the 9,000 power spike, you know what I'm saying? Because when there is something on the line, when there is something you can win, you can fight for, that's like a motivation boost you need to not only play your games, but also to train, to get better in the game. This way we can get a high class, high skill based gameplay, which is just always fun to watch, regardless what game it is. I also like to watch League of Legends World Championship tournaments, for example, because the people, they are trying their very best, you know, they are trying to find new strategies, play a perfect game, and that's just so fun. And I'm happy that I'm allowed and I'm able to commentate those games, you know? That's my favorite games, my friend, in the world. So, I mean, if you know me, BFME is like, you know, the only games I play and cast. 400 command points against 400, 4 power points collected versus 3 power points after the Felwind in Warchant. So Fairy is definitely leading in the power point department. And I think in long terms, you gotta get some more Lancers. Maybe even Gothmog could be a great hero in the situation. But late game Angmar, dude, it's something else, guys. It's something else. Like the Rangers with the Felwind combination, it's literally something else. Many Orc Warriors, 400 command points versus 425. But in a 3v1 Doll Gold, I mean, we are talking about a 1v1 situation. Yeah, God. Hey, what is stronger, Black Rider or Black Rider or Knights of Dol Amroth? Knights of Dol Amroth, but only if you have 3 of them against 1. Yeah, what is stronger? You know, Gandalf or 5 Sarumans, for example. Okay, double of the Kingsman, Wolfdan, level 1, level 1, level 1. So it's about spamming at this point. No transition into something strong I get. And Mordor also no Trolls. I think Trolls can also be kind of good in this situation. Because as we are talking, Ingmar doesn't have an option to deal with them, you know? 550 command points for Ingmar and 425 for Mordor. Mordor is still in a defensive situation. It looks like he wants to save up for the industry, you know? That's the plan of Mordor, to get to the point in which he can get a bit more money and finally find a way for the transition possibility into something stronger than Orcs. I think also very underrated unit are the Black Orcs. Like, I'm legit not sure why people are not recruiting them. For 300, they are actually as good as Black Numenorians, as good as Uruk-hai. You know, they have Bloodthirst with level 2, you can get easily double buff on them with Eye plus War Chant. Long story short, you can make them extremely strong, right? You can have 25 from the Bloodthirsty, 50 from War Chant, 33 for the Eye of Sauron. You combine them with a couple of Easterlings to get some sort of anti-cavalry units on the field, and then your push is going to be extremely efficient. But yet again, unfortunately, we don't get the chance to see them very often. I don't think they are bad. I think they are very strong. Really, really strong. Mordor is kind of pushing back a little bit. 6 power points collected. 10 is going to give you the chance as Ingmar at this point to either go for the White Summon or for the Orc Summon. Orc Summon is a better choice in my opinion, because it will lead you later on to the Mountain Giant Summon, which can be used to siege and take down the enemy fortress. So Maru, once again, is 2-1 behind, and that might be the final game for Maru in this winner bracket. But keep in mind, there is also a losers bracket, which Maru can still play in and eventually work his way up to the grand finals. Belvind, War Chant, big fight. So Mordor decided to go for the War Chant here. So does Ingmar. So that's gonna slow down Mordor's 10 power point industry power spike. So Maru is kind of trying to hold Ingmar here on the spot, denying them to enter this area. But Ferry can do that with the riders. However, there is a troll now. The troll has to chase them down. You cannot let them take down your eco for no reason. Just hold them with orcs and chase down the lances. But it's too late now. This one is going to be taken down. And also, you know, while this is happening, there is nothing else happening on the Ingmar. Ingmar is untouched, and Ingmar is pressuring all the time. And that's the struggle of Maru. Maru seems to be struggling when it comes to multitasking, you know, macroing, trying to sneak in maybe one orc warrior from this way. Like, I see that not only from Maru, not blame on Maru, he's a very good player, potentially 100,000 times better than me. But I'm saying that I see that from many people, that they only use like 1 or 2 pathways. So Maru all game long was actually sending units directly through the middle, right? While Fairy was also using this pathway, which makes it harder and harder for Maru to defend himself. I think you gotta just be a little bit more using the map, you know? I will be used to take down the mill, that's good. Very good push here from Maru with the Easterlings, but the Easterlings are getting melted. And that's the biggest counter to cavalry. That's like a legit no fun counter, like a mobile counter to pikemen. That's unbelievable. Oh, Corsairs, also units we don't get the chance to see very often in this game. 475 command points versus 750. So Ingmar has now the Snowbind, which will be used to save this level 2 mill, but a little bit too late from Fairy there, because the thing is, after the Snowbind is gone, he can legit throw one rock with a troll and it's gonna be taken down. And it's also slowing your 10 power point down a little bit. Also very underrated for Ingmar, by the way, is the Frozen Land, which is legit the only way Ingmar can get additional damage and armor leadership. Ingmar has no hero that can offer leadership. Besides the Frozen Land, you have no chance of unlocking that. And double buff is very strong, especially later on when you have stronger units. The fire bombs on the ground, burning them, they're also a great counter to pikemen. But they are so expensive, dude. I feel like they're just too expensive. They cost 350 each. I don't know, man. Something is missing with them. There comes the Orc Summon. Maybe bomb them here on the ground and deal damage over time. I mean, you legit need to hope that they are staying on the ground and then just sitting here and then burning eventually. Oh, does he have War Chant? It's on cooldown. Luckily for Maru. Nice micro here, but he's gonna get slowed down regardless. And he's losing a lot of his... Oh, that was really close. Did you guys see the Harad, the Thrall Master? Actually not. I mean, what am I talking about? Thrall Master? There was a banner. Thrall Master is Ingmar's thing. The troll was not even able to finish this level 2, and he's gonna go down now. That's a very tricky situation. If you don't stand still, then those units are gonna kill you. If you stand and fight back, those units are gonna kill you. Big push is incoming. Level 3 slaughterhouse under attack. You gotta try to defend this, body block this. He's trying that with the Easterlings, as you can see. He's trying to block this area, but there comes the Felvin. He's like, get out of my way, son. And now he's getting inside the Jeans, boys. His goal is simple. Take down the slaughterhouse, no matter what. Does the land stack with the hero buffs? Only, yeah, I mean, the land, yes. The land gives you buff. Hero gives you leadership. So you can have only one leadership and one buff at the same time. So basically, if you have higher leadership and you use Elven Wood, you can have them stacked, you know? The only exception is the Frozen Land. Frozen Land can't, because Frozen Land is a land that gives you leadership and not buff. Benzi! My man Benzi is in the business. Thank you so much, Benzi. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. My OG friend from the Twitch universe. 8 power points collected after the Orc summon. He's 7 power points away from the Mountain Giant special summon. There is a tower blocking this pathway for Fairy. Fairy is actually playing incredibly well, despite the fact that he had like a rough start into the best of 5 by losing the first game as Elves against Men. He was playing really smooth games in the past 3 games, including this one. It means if this goes like that, if Maru cannot pull off like a magical trick to get out of this rough situation, Fairy should be able to enter the semifinals and face against Mr. Smoke in the best of 7. And that's gonna be also epic one, you know? Nobody should say it's gonna be easy for Smokey. And that's the thing, the competition level I like in Rise of the Witch King more than in any other game, because the amount of possibilities a tournament can go, right, is just so immensely cool. You know what I'm saying? Sauron can win, Awe can win, Urbi could win if he wouldn't sign off again. Fairy can win. You know, we have also people who are not participating in the tournament who are also very, very strong players. They could win. Like, so much competition. So many people, they can lose and beat each other. The middle is going to be taken down. 12 power points collected. 12 power points also for Mordor. So the Mordor can unlock the Worm. And listen to me, the Worm here can actually be so good. So good. Like, look at this layout. Like, if you summon the Worm here, I think you can hit this 3 buildings at the same time. It like, the area damage is kind of crazy. Like, the fire, when you place him here, he can hit this, this, and this one behind, you know? Deals so much damage. The troll has been taken down once again. And Mordor is kind of pushing back, but however you can see his command points, right? He's dropping down to 350 command points. Engmar is up to 575. Lucas money, he has over 2000. He can get more and more. Oh, nice clumping. There is like a gap. You don't want to leave a gap like this. It might give him the chance to take down this level 3 mill, which would be huge. Yeah, Snowbind is on cooldown. Like, if he can take this, this, and this, that can actually change literally everything. This is going down, boys. Troll has to get in safety. If he can, this one is still, you know, healthy. This is tanky thing, right? Level 3 building with the fortress shooting you down. The Worm can do it though. Yes, sir. But hey, guys. We have the... Oh, not even the Giant Summon is ready yet. Not even the Giant Summon is ready yet. And Fairy is going to drop down to 400 command points. He's going to be command points capped very soon. The thing is, Fairy is only 1 power point away from the Mountain Giant. And the Mountain Giant can legit take down the fortress from a really long distance. And looks like Maru cannot defend this. I don't think he has the chance and the tools and the units to defend such a force, such an attack. I don't think that. The Worm is going to be able to finish off this level 3 building. And you see, this is the damage I'm talking about. He lost legit every single production building he has. He has another one here, but that's all he got. Now he got to fight for the Giant Summon. He's still 1 power point away from it though. So he's not there quite yet. He's trying to fish the power points he needs to unlock it. But that, if this Mountain Giant somehow can be defended by Maru, I think Maru has legit the chance to turn this game around. The Giants are going to be unlocked now. The Felvin is available to keep the danger away from the Giants for the worst case scenario. There comes the Mountain Giant. There comes the special summon possibility. The Wolf Riders are coming to trample them. And there comes the Tainted Land from Mordor. So the thing is, can those Giants be taken down before they can take down your fortress? The Trebuchet expansion will be the first target. How much damage? Oh, decent damage, but it's, you know, the only hit they will get off on this unit. No Easterlings. Easterlings are coming. Orc summon is legit only 5 seconds away. He's body blocking for the Giants, very smart. He can also use the Felvin for the worst case scenario. Looks like he doesn't want to go for the fortress. He want to kill all the production buildings first. Better safe than sorry. Going for the fortress is a better call if you can take it down. But if you can't take it down, it's better if you focus down on other buildings. You can literally one-shot. Oh, there comes the spoken Belvind. Troll cannot move, cannot play the game. Crowd control is the key to victory. There goes the fortress down. There was a great counter attempt from Maru, but Fairy's push, the Giant Summon is just too good. You know, when it comes to finish off the games, the Giant Summon is the king under those finishing abilities. The fortress is no more. Mordor cannot keep it protected with a frozen snowbind. That's only an Angmar thing, no rebuild, nothing like this. And those two, yeah, and Maru doesn't say a GG, doesn't say a word, will leave the game in 3-1 victory for Fairy from Belgium, moving on as the second player